Did you know that some of the things you share with people can actually be used against you? We all have private stuff that should stay, well, private. You know, those things that could potentially damage your reputation or land you in a tough spot. Think of it this way. Imagine your private life as a circle, like there's a strong boundary that separates you from others. Privacy isn't just about protecting your sense of self, it's also about empowering you to define yourself without relying on others. But nowadays, oversharing has become a regular issue, especially on social media where strangers freely express their most personal thoughts. We've developed a tendency to say more than we should. While it's okay to be open about your life, like intimate moments and personal problems, certain things are better kept to yourself. Why? Those who overshare may unknowingly harm their relationships, reputation, and self-esteem. Worse, it can even impact their future. This is why it's important to know when and where to be discreet. We need to establish a clear boundary between our inner and outer worlds. The challenge lies in deciding what parts of ourselves to share and what to keep private. If you want to avoid any unpleasant surprises down the road, it's crucial to know what should remain private. In this video, we're going to spill the beans on the 12 private things you should never tell anyone and why. It's going to be an eye-opener. Number 1. Your finances. Have you ever come across someone who just can't stop bragging about how much money they make or how expensive their stuff is? It can be pretty uncomfortable, right? Especially when you're surrounded by people who don't have as much. When you show off your wealth like that, people start making assumptions about you and put you in a box with all these negative stereotypes. And to make matters worse, some people might try to take advantage of your wealth for their own gain. They'll manipulate you into paying for everything or expect you to always foot the bill, knowing that you have more money than them. So here's a little piece of advice. Keep your financial matters to yourself. Don't go around telling everyone how much you have or what your stuff is worth. It's better to keep that information known only to you. By being discreet, you can avoid the awkwardness and burden that comes with having money. Number 2. Your acts of kindness. Do you see yourself as someone kind? See, many of us do acts of kindness. But the reality is that not everyone does it with genuine intentions. Some people boast about their good deeds because they are seeking praise and admiration. But true kindness should come from within. It should be driven by its own merit, and it doesn't require rewards or recognition. You don't need validation from others whenever you do a good deed. Let your benevolent actions speak for themselves. Embrace the purity of the selfless act and embody the essence of genuine compassion. Number 3. Your insecurities. The truth is, we all have insecurities. We all have those little things we wish we could change about ourselves. But you know what? Most of the time, those flaws are invisible to others. There's really no need to go out of your way to highlight things that no one would ever notice. And sometimes, the best way to deal with insecurities is to think that they don't exist. When you're around other people, just pretend as if what you see as flaws aren't there and they're not bothering you. Let them fade into the background and just exude nothing but confidence. By not drawing attention to your insecurities, chances are no one will ever know about it. And remember this, you are so much more than your insecurities. Number 4. Other people's secrets they told you about. Imagine this scenario. Your friend comes up to you and shares a secret. They trust you completely, and they haven't told anyone about it. It's your job to respect and honor that trust. Now, some people might be tempted to spill the beans for a little gossip or amusement, but the trust your friend has placed in you is something you should never take lightly. It's your top priority to protect that trust and keep it safe. Number 5. Things you are embarrassed about. We all have those moments where we're not exactly proud of ourselves. You know, those times when we make careless errors or bad decisions that land us in embarrassing situations. But hey, just because we messed up doesn't mean that we have to spill all the details to everyone. It might sound a bit superficial, but it's really important to think about how your stories will impact your social image. Because the reality is that having a good reputation can really make a difference in your life. So, whenever you can, show your best self and use a little discretion. Keep those not-so-flattering stories hidden from the world. Number 6. Unsolicited advice. Some people believe their advice is invaluable, as if it were made of diamonds and pure gold. So they just love sharing their wisdom with anyone who cares to listen, believing it can change that person's life. But you know what? Most people couldn't care less about unwanted advice. It's pretty much ignored and can even make people resentful. So, it's probably a good idea to hold back on giving unsolicited guidance. I mean, sure, you might have different perspectives or a better way of doing things, but it's best to keep those insights to yourself unless someone explicitly asks for your advice. Number 7. Your plans and goals. A lot of people make the mistake of openly sharing their goals with everyone they meet. While it's great to be open with others, talking about your goals can kill your motivation. Why? Basically, if you spill the beans too soon, it's less likely for you to act on your goals. Plus, you put your personal ambitions out there for everyone to judge. And if someone important in your life disagrees or doesn't approve, it can make you doubt yourself and feel unsure about what you want. I know it's tempting to share your goals with those around you, but keeping them to yourself actually increases your chances of achieving them. This is because you're protecting the integrity of your aspirations and shielding yourself from external influences that might hold you back. Number 8. Your family problems. Family problems are something that pretty much everyone has to deal with, but it's usually not a good idea to openly share those problems. When you're part of a family, you have to protect each other's privacy. This holds true even when you're in conflict with them. When you criticize or speak badly about your family, you're not only betraying their trust, but also risking their image and reputation. And the last thing you want is to cause harm to the people you care about, right? That's why it's best to keep any family issues within the family circle. Number 9. Issues you have with your partner. When having relationship problems, some people tend to vent about their partners or spill the details about what's happening to others. But you know what? They often end up regretting it. This is because talking openly about personal issues doesn't really solve the underlying problems in their relationship. In fact, that usually just complicates things and damages the trust between partners. So, if you're upset with your partner, the best thing to do is to talk to them directly. Keep your relationship issues between you and your partner. Breaking their trust is never worth it. You can hurt them and risk the relationship. No need to involve others in your relationship drama because, honestly, they're not a part of it. Number 10. Your core beliefs. When we speak of core beliefs, they're simply what makes you who you truly are. They shape your character and define your values. It's like your own little secret sauce, you know? You don't have to go around sharing them with everyone, though. Sometimes, keeping them to yourself can actually make them more powerful, and you protect yourself from any judgment or misunderstandings. Plus, it dissuades you from changing your beliefs just to fit in with the crowd, which is what many people tend to do. Find that validation within yourself instead. Have confidence that your core beliefs matter and hold significance for you. And if you ever feel unsure, take that time to strengthen your beliefs on your own terms. After all, what truly matters is how you perceive yourself. Number 11. How you spend your time. A lot of people tend to make this common mistake when asked about their day. Instead of just giving a simple answer, they go into unnecessary detail about it. They end up explaining how they spent every single moment of their time. But you know what? Such a detailed story can get pretty tedious for others to listen to. Not to mention, it can create a negative impression. This is because we unconsciously start questioning someone's motives when they give too many details when asked about something. In this case, they may think you're rambling because you're feeling ashamed of how you actually spent your time. They may even doubt if you actually accomplished everything you claim you did. The more you try to justify their time, the more insecure you come across. But let me tell you this. You don't have to justify your time to anyone. Just a brief and confident response is all it takes to leave a much better impression. In doing so, people will assume that your time was well spent. And honestly, that's all they really need to know. Number 12. Criticisms about others. Even if you really care about someone, like a friend or partner, there might be certain aspects of their personality or things they do that can get on your nerves. Maybe they have hobbies that don't really resonate with you or habits that you find annoying. But here's the thing. It's not your job to tell them how to live their lives. So keep any criticisms you have about them to yourself. Expressing why they bother you or what you dislike about them will only strain your relationships and create conflict. What's more, let people make mistakes and overlook their imperfections. Trying to fix them won't really benefit anyone. here are 2 more videos you may find interesting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos like this, subscribe to the channel.